So I've decided to make a DIY belt sander, and I'm going to be trying to minimize the cost by getting things from Facebook Marketplace for cheap or free. The parts I'm going to be using includes a treadmill motor and the steel beams from the treadmill, which includes the frame. Also getting a workout bench and squat rack for the steel beams, and then whatever I have laying around, such as the bolts from the treadmill and the bench, and anything I can basically make for cheap. I'm going to be trying to make the best DIY belt sander I can make, and I'm going to be using concepts from other YouTube videos as well. So here's the Fusion 360 schematic I have come up with, and I'm going to be trying to stick to this and updating this as I go throughout my multiple videos. I'm going to try to make a video on each section of this so that I can try to give some guidance on anybody who's actually trying to make one of these, or if anyone's just watching this for fun, then hopefully it can be descriptive enough. I also wanted to say this machine won't be as precise as professional machines, of course, because we are using a limited budget for parts. So let's get to it. So as far as materials goes, I got these two things off of Facebook Marketplace because I wanted these steel square beams here. So I'll be using these two as basically scrap. Be taking this and then some of this, so I can build the belt sander with that. I got both of these from Facebook Marketplace for $30, which isn't too bad, considering that if you buy square steel from Lowe's, just the 1-inch stuff right now at least is 1 inch by 6 foot for $40. And I know that this isn't the thickest stuff, but I think it'll work. So like, this isn't crazy amount of thickness, but I can't bend it with my hand, so I think it's pretty darn tough. And I'm thinking that this piece right here will be perfect for the stacked thing for the table and for the grinder part, because this slides inside of each other pretty nice. And then with this thing, you can fix it in position, so that would be pretty much perfect, just like this, and it doesn't move. So pretty much going to use that part, since we got two of them. This part, just cut off the stuff right here, and then we can use that. And then for the rest of the stuff, I'm going to probably use mostly this one, maybe a little bit of mix of this one. And I'll be getting a scrap treadmill soon. Supposedly it works, but we'll see how that goes. So this is my steel for the square beams at least. I still need to get the plates, which is going to be a little expensive because of steel prices right now. But at least I could save a little bit of money here, because this would have been more expensive than $30. So that's my plan for the steel square beams, at least material wise. Alright, so I literally just got this out of the car. Just brought it back home. This is the model Weslow Cadence G 5.9i. Not that it really matters. I just plugged it in. The screen seems to work. In the listing, the Facebook Marketplace listing, they said that it needs a new belt, and I asked them if the motor worked. They said it did, so I guess we will now see. Let's go to start. There it is. Alright, it seems to be working. It seems to be able to take some load too. Alright, well, there we have it. I'll be using this treadmill. Alright, so I took this whole thing apart, kinda. Motors here, this controller thing, which uses this plug, and then all these wires or whatever. I took this plastic thing off of it, I took this frame off of it, and now all like this, I should be able to plug it in and then see how it works. 1 second. Alright, I just plugged it in. This one's the fan. So I plugged it in here. Gotta be really careful because this stuff is live. So this like on off reset thing, if I just switch that, then there's nothing that came with this, but actually a little magnet thing for safety is supposed to go in here. So if I put the magnet here, you can see the screen lights up. So now I go like speed 3, and then the motor comes on. So it's working pretty good, and I should be able to just keep the motor, the controller thing, and then under here is actually the circuit that drives the motor, and I gotta keep that too, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of stuff that deals with this, so that's good. I'm gonna make a little enclosure for this thing, and for these ones you have to make an enclosure for it, I heard at least, because these motors have this opening here, which actually, I don't know if you can see it right there, you can kind of see the coils, and basically if dust gets in there and stuff, that's gonna be really bad for the motor. So ideally you would want to make an enclosure, put a fan on it maybe, so that it can actually cool the motor too. So I'm gonna be probably not at first, because I want to make sure this thing actually works and stuff, but ideally after a while I'm gonna make a little enclosure, put a fan here, maybe like an inlet and an outlet somewhere, put some kind of filter on there so dust doesn't get in. Alright, now I got everything apart and it's all taken apart. This is the circuit, the motor, and my controller thing. The frame is right here that went across the bottom. Got all the plastic here, all the metal, which I'm probably keeping here. And then these are the rollers actually, and they actually have some bearings in them, so I might use these for my belt sander. I actually messed this one up. I accidentally stuck a screwdriver in it, so I don't know if I'm going to use this one. But the rest of them are good, and there's 4 here, and I should only need 3 because I have 4 legs, and one of those legs is going to be the motor. So, might use this as like a stand for it, I don't know. Noticed a couple things. So when I am when I turn it on, it's making a clicking noise, which I'm not sure if that means the motor's getting old or not. Seems to be coming from the back, which obviously if sound is going to come out, it's going to come out through the holes. But anyway, I noticed that a little bit, so I might try to look in there and see what's going on with that. But as well, I don't know if you can see when I turn this off, you can actually see that the motor, once it stops here, it's spinning in this direction, right? And if I put it on the machine like this, like I want to, like the plate here and the cylinder here to drive the belt, it's going to be driving the belt this way, which is going to make the belt come from under to up. So the belt's going to go like this. And I don't know if there's a threaded thing in here that goes on this. It might be reverse threaded so that it actually threads in this way, and then it's moving this way so it won't like undo it, or vice versa. I don't know, I'm not really thinking right now, but I don't even know if I can get this off, first of all, but I'm gonna look into that and see if I know this is a DC motor. I can just flip-flop these two, so that'd be fine, but I don't want this thing to fall off if I'm running it. So after disassembling the treadmill and also the weight rack. I left the bench alone just because I think I have enough steel with just the rack. So this is what I'm left with, all of the steel, and then this right here, this big thing, which I probably won't use. I'm just gonna leave like that because it might be a good stand for something. I don't know. Anyway, this lighter stuff. This is the rack that I got from the marketplace thing. So these two would be nice because it has this little turny thing, so that's gonna be good. And this goes inside of them, so that's going to be the pull out thing. And then this is from the treadmill. It has wheels on it, so I don't, might be a good stand, I don't know. And then this is also the rack. So I think here I have enough to do the project. I don't know if it's thick enough steel because it's pretty thin. Whoops. It's pretty thin, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I know that a lot of these other people are using 1/8 thickness. Not quite sure what this is, maybe 1/16, but I don't know if they just use 1/8 because that's what's accessible or that's what's really needed for this project. So I'm gonna try with 1/16, see how it goes, and I guess at the end of this series you guys will know too. Well, thanks for sticking around and watching this video. All we did was basically talk about the treadmill and the weight rack, but next video I'm going to be actually making the main body of the DIY belt sander. So we're going to get into a little bit of angle grinding, welding, and basically doing a real version of the Fusion 360 model I made.